Hello, happy Friday. I know it still seems a little bit strange, but here we are finishing our third week of teaching and learning at AB Tech with the coronavirus. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to Brian, and Chris Harshman, and the whole IT staff for making all this technology available to us so that we can still carry on business, not as usual, but we can still carry on our full business. I know we've had this technology, but it was a convenience. Now it's a necessity, and they responded to the demands for that increased scope and span. And now we are able to actually meet each other through technology and keep on with business as usual. And you may know, certainly the faculty do and the students, when we realized that our computer labs as a asset for our students did not meet the safety requirements, they, in a matter of hours, literally created an emergency student lab with all the disinfecting and distancing protocols. So it's now available for students, and they're going to find other ways, since it's a good location for students to drop things off. But just want to tell you, right now, I miss the grapevine, something I never thought I would say in a community college, but there was nothing like the grapevine to just keep you kind of in touch with what's going on. Of course, it had about the same accuracy as, say, Facebook, but at least it was a way to kind of communicate it across lines. And I know that communication is going up and down. I know that the ELT members are communicating with their direct reports, and they're communicating down the line, but sometimes when it's in that silo type communication, we forget that there is a whole organization out there, and that's what we're missing by not being able to actually interact personally on a day-to-day basis. So just wanted to give you just a little bit of insight to show you that although our doors are closed, AB Tech is open for business 100%. Our student services area, for example, is probably busier than ever. They're still processing financial aid. They're now ramping up registration for the returning students. And in addition, the counseling, the career counseling, the personal counseling, all that is still going on through technology, but it's still going on and very active. And they, along with volunteers across the campus, have been reaching out, making personal contacts with students by the thousands. Unfortunately, we are going to lose some students who just cannot cope, and it's not always the technology. Actually, it is living, now having to do childcare at home rather than have the luxury, I guess, of going to school, and also dealing with the things that isolation has imposed on all of us. So, but student services is very active, reaching out as they always have. And speaking of reaching out, we have a new person on the executive leadership team, Ann Oxenrider, whom most of you obviously have not had a chance to meet. I think she was on campus maybe one day before the stay-at-home order, but she, along with the instruction area, have developed and put on the website a survey for students, just 3 basic questions. So we're also getting information from students that way. So, she came on board right in the middle of this and has certainly hit the ground running. The core process of a community college is teaching and learning. I mean, that's what we do. That's the reason we're here. And question, how do you do teaching and learning when you and the students, everybody is told to stay home? Well, you get creative, and our faculty, with a great deal of support from other areas, have managed to transform face-to-face classes to a technology-based mode of instruction. Courses that a month, 2 months ago, no one would have even thought was doable, and yet they've done it. And as we have evolved in this process, they've actually found more ways even to deal with labs and things like that. So it has taken just a monumental creative approach, and but it is still going on. Instruction is still going on. Connie is faced with equal challenges, but if you've been aware, they have just come out with a catalog of their Ed2Go courses, and just phenomenal. All kinds of skills-based courses and special interest type courses that are available to people online, of course, but they are there. They've been developed. They're out there. The Small Business Center has been going. It has not slowed down at all. And in fact, they are rolling out a brand new initiative called Startup Asheville. It's part of an initiative that covers Western North Carolina to bring an unprecedented array of support to small businesses, because you and I know once the doors of this community are open, our small businesses are going to need all the help they can to get up and running. And that is going to be what will actually guide the recovery in this area. So our Small Business Center has not missed a beat. And we all got paid. None of us doubted that would happen. But the business office, all those processes are still running. In fact, a memo came out this week saying they're giving you a little bit extra time to get requisitions in, but requisitions are being handled, supplies are being ordered, equipment is being ordered, all that is continuing. But challenging circumstances require unprecedented responses. And hats off to the HR department. As soon as we knew this was happening, and we saw that the governor was making changes in the State Personnel Act, which does not affect us, but we immediately, thanks to Shauna and her team, started to revise all of our policies that have to do with employee benefits, policies governing leave, governing how much and how employees can be paid when they have to leave work, teleworking policies, all those things rapidly, and they went through the executive leadership team. And when you have a chance to see a board member at some point down the road, thank them, because all those policies had to be reviewed and approved by the Board of Trustees. And they were willing to work, with the flexibility necessary so that we could have those policies in place as they are needed now, not down the road. So it really was incredible. And in typical HR fashion, I know Daryl Rhymes has been calling several of you. I've made some calls myself, and he's let me know how you're doing. And I just want to say, this isolation, that's not the way we want to operate. That is not AB Tech in its spirit. But yet, all of you seem to have adjusted to the work that you're doing and the ways that you have to do that work. So that's great. But it is, as I said, here it is Friday, and somehow it doesn't feel like Friday unless you can pack up your stuff and get in your car and go home and kick back. And now, turn off your computers and kick back as much as you can. And I really appreciate Liz and Laura, continuing to offer those workshops that keep us somewhat grounded, and the opportunities that Emily has done for you to learn a new skill, practice your creative writing. All those things are still going on just as they were. Take part in them. And did you know that we're going to keep our health clinic open? It's going to be done virtually, but even that is going to continue. And speaking of connectedness and being with each other, I guess you have heard that our foundation board has decided to cancel the K. Ray Bailey Golf Tournament this coming June, and first time they've ever had to cancel that. And they did it with great consternation and all that, but it was the right thing to do, and they knew it, and so they did it. But that means those of us who enjoy those activities, not the golfing necessarily, certainly I don't, but I do enjoy going there, as I'm sure many of you do, participating and meeting people and meeting new people. And it's just a nice way to actually get together, have some fun, and do something good for the students. That'll be about $20,000 worth of scholarship money that is not available to the students this year, but the staff and the foundation and some of their board members are already doing the brainstorming they need to figure out new ways to make up that $20,000, because raising money for our students, that's what they do. And they're still doing that. But when we look at, still being in business, we are AB Tech Community College, and we still a part of this community that is going through the same kinds of trauma and change that we're going through. And did you know that we have shipped literally truckloads of personal protective equipment to emergency services and to Buncombe County and Madison County? And we made 2 of our ambulances available if they need them, if they with what's going to happen when they start really transporting patients. And you may have seen in the paper probably today that a couple of the trucks of the county have had some mechanical difficulties, so they may use that. And we've also worked with Emergency Services and Mission Hospital to prepare the third floor of our Allied Health building as an overflow area for acute patients, not infected patients, but acute patients if the number of beds they have become strained because of the coronavirus. So we are still actively participating in the needs of this community, just like we always have. And I know that you're not here to see this campus that is going through its transformation from the brown of winter, which is where it was when I came on the first day of February, and it's now transforming into the colors and the green. And I had to be on campus yesterday, and I was outside, and I can tell you that the grass was being mowed, people were picking up the sticks and the trash, fluffing the mulch, and so when we all get back, it's going to be as pretty as it was in the past. And also riding around the campus, waving to the police officers who are making sure that these buildings that are pretty much shut, but safe and secure. So shout out to all those people who are keeping this campus still busy, keeping this campus the way it will be when we all get to come back and have business as usual. But until then, I just wanted to make sure that you knew, when people say, well, what's going on in the college? You need to let them know we are open for business and busier than ever. We're just doing it in a very different way. And thank all of you for doing what's necessary to make that the reality. And Gene Laughlin would never forgive me if I did not mention that. Yes, the SACS 5th year report, that work is still continuing, so do not miss your deadline. So Gene, that is for you. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Shut off your computers, turn off the TV, and really enjoy your weekend. Thank you.